Hello, my name is Adrienne Wallace, and today I'll be presenting on three important frameworks used in online and blended learning. The first is Community of Inquiry Survey Instrument, or COI. The second is Quality Matters, also known as QM. And lastly, the National Standards for Quality Online Learning, or NSQOL. These frameworks are widely used to improve teaching, course design, and student learning experiences. Before I dive in, let's take a look at the agenda. Throughout this presentation, I will 1. Provide an overview of each framework, 2. Discuss how they converge and diverge, and 3. Explain how I apply them in my own classroom. Let's take a look at why this matters. Online learning is now a major part of education, not just during emergencies, but as a permanent instructional model. However, effective online learning doesn't just happen. Just putting assignments online or uploading a video does not mean students are learning. Without these three things, online learning can quickly become passive and ineffective. These three frameworks help us answer three critical questions. How do students learn best online? How should courses be designed? And how should schools support learning? Here's another way to understand these frameworks. Community of Inquiry focuses on the learning experience, Quality Management focuses on course design, and National Standards for Quality Online Learning focuses on the entire system. So think of it in layers. Community of Inquiry is the classroom experience, what students feel and do. Quality Management is the course design, how everything is structured. National Standards for Quality Online Learning is the system, what supports everything behind the scenes. Let's start with what is the Community of Inquiry Survey Instrument. The COI Survey Instrument is a research-based questionnaire used to measure the quality of online and blended learning experiences. It is grounded in the COI framework developed by Randy Garrison, Terry Anderson, and Walter Archer. The COI inquiry is a research-based model used to design effective online and blended learning environments. This framework is all about how students learn through interaction. It says learning is not just about content, it's about communication, collaboration, and reflection. What does the COI survey measures? The instrument evaluates three key elements that make online learning effective. 1. Teaching presence, design, organization, and facilitation of the course, instructor guidance, and feedback. 2. Social presence, ability of students to present themselves as real people, sense of community and interaction. Example, discussions, collaboration, feeling comfortable. 3. Cognitive presence, depth of learning, critical thinking, how students construct meaning through reflection and discussion. Example would be problem solving, inquiry-based activities, applying knowledge. How the survey works typically includes questions with a scale from 1 to 5, with 1 being strongly disagree and 5 being strongly agree. Students respond to statements like, the instructor clearly communicated important course topics. I felt comfortable interacting with other participants. Course activities helped me construct explanations and solutions. Let's look at the purpose of the COI survey instrument. 1. It evaluates online course quality. 2. Improve instructional design. 3. Measure student engagement and learning experience. And 4. Provide data for research or program evaluation. Why does this matter? The COI survey instrument helps ensure that online learning is not just about delivering content, but about creating a meaningful learning experience where students feel connected, learning is interactive, thinking is deep and reflective. So it actually allows educators to ask themselves, is my classroom truly engaging? Now let's move on to Quality Matters rubric and what is the Quality Matters K-12 rubric. The Quality Matters K-12 rubric is a research-based set of standards used to evaluate and improve online and blended learning courses. It's also used to ensure high-quality instructional design and student success. Its key feature is alignment. It's all about how we structure learning. Everything should connect. Quality Matters provides a rubric with 8 standards to ensure courses are well structured. According to the rubric, high-quality courses must include 1. Course overview and introduction. 2. Learning objectives. 3. Assessment and measurement. 4. Instructional materials. 5. Learning activities and interaction. 6. Course technology. 7. Learner and instructor support. And 8. Accessibility and usability. It focuses on course structure, clear expectations, and measurable learning outcome. This means objectives, assessments, materials, activities, and technology must all work together. Everything should support students in achieving the same learning outcomes. When students see that connection, learning becomes clearer and more meaningful. Finally, we have the National Standards for Quality Online Learning, NSQOL, which is the most comprehensive framework. The NSQOL framework includes 3 connected sets of standards: online courses, what is taught; online teaching, how it's taught; and online programs, how everything is managed. Together, they create a complete system for high-quality online learning. 7 core standards: what students experience. 1. Course overview and support. Next, content. Next, instructional design. Next, learner assessment. Next, accessibility and usability. Next is course technology. And finally, course evaluation. What this means? These standards focuses on how the course is structured, what students learn, how learning is assessed, how accessible and organized the course is. Standards for quality online teaching. 5 teaching standards exist. How teachers should teach. 1. Professional responsibilities. 2. Digital citizenship. 3. Engagement and belonging. 4. Learner-centered instruction. And 5. Instructional design. What this means? These standards focuses on teacher behavior and professionalism, student engagement and relationships, and inclusive student-centered instruction. Finally, standards for quality online programs. There are 14 program standards. This is how schools and districts operate, and they're grouped into 4 categories. Mission, governance, leadership. Includes mission statement, governance, leadership, and transparency. Next is planning, resources, and evaluation. Includes planning, staff, resources, program evaluation. Then there's curriculum, instruction, and assessment, which includes course design, instruction, and assessment. And then there's access and support. Includes equity and access, staff support, student and parent support. What does this all mean? These standards focuses on leadership decisions, resources and funding, equity and access, program effectiveness. So it's not just about what happens in our classrooms. It's about leadership, technology access, teacher support, and equity. Think of NSQOL as what is the school or district doing to support learning. This framework looks to improve the entire online learning program. Now let's talk about how these frameworks are similar, the convergence, and then we'll talk about divergence. Even though they focus on different areas, all 3 frameworks aim to improve student learning outcomes in online and blended environments. The COI enforces meaningful learning through interaction. Quality management focuses on effective learning through well-designed courses. And NSQOL is based on successful learning through strong systems and support. All 3 frameworks prioritize student success, focuses on student-centered learning, emphasis is on student engagement, and thirdly, active learning based on research. Each framework prioritizes the needs of the learner. Another similarity is alignment and structure. Even though QM uses the word directly, all 3 frameworks require things to work together. Nothing should be random. Everything should be intentional. COI creates alignment between the 3 presences: teaching, social, and cognitive presence. Quality management ensures alignment between objectives, activities, and assessments. NSQOL requires alignment across courses, teaching, and program structure, the entire system. They all share the same principle, which is everything must work together. All 3 frameworks are grounded in research and best practices. They address engagement challenges, technology integration, and communication barriers. Each framework is grounded in educational research and is widely used. COI enforces validated survey and research studies. Quality management enforces research-based rubric standards. And NSQOL has nationally recognized standards. They are not just theories. They are widely used in real educational settings. Now let's look at how they differ. While they align in purpose, they differ significantly in scope and application. COI focuses on the classroom experience, quality management focuses on course design, and NSQOL focuses on the entire system. Primary purpose of each: COI explains how learning happens, quality management guides how to design a course, and NSQOL defines how to run an effective online program. They all answer different questions. COI asks, are students engaged? Quality management asks, is the course designed well? And NSQOL asks, is the system supporting learning? So they all operate at different levels. Their core components: COI has 3 presences: cognitive, social, and teaching. Quality management has 8 course design standards, and NSQOL has 3 sets of standards: course, teaching, and programs. Each uses a different structure and framework model. In COI, the teacher is a facilitator of learning and interaction. With quality management, the teacher is a course designer. With NSQOL, the teacher is part of a larger system with policies and support. The implementation context: COI is used in classrooms and research. Quality management is used in course reviews and instructional design, and NSQOL is used by schools, districts, and policymakers. So they all are different, but that's actually what makes them powerful. Simply put, all 3 frameworks aim to improve online learning by focusing on student success, engagement, and effective design. They differ in scope and purpose. COI focuses on the learning experience, quality management focuses on the course design, and NSQOL focuses on system-level support. The community of inquiry, Quality Matters, and National Standards for Quality Online Learning frameworks converge in their shared goal of improving the quality of online and blended learning through student-centered approaches, alignment, and research-based practices. However, they diverge in their scope and application. COI focuses on the learning experience through cognitive, social, and teaching presence. Quality management emphasizes course design and alignment of instructional components, and NSQOL addresses broader institutional and program-level factors such as leadership, resources, and equity. Together, these frameworks provide a comprehensive, multi-level approach to ensuring effective online education. Now let's bring this into my classroom. I teach website development in a high school setting. My students use Chromebooks, Google Classroom, Nearpod, and CodePen. These tools, along with district support, create an environment where all 3 frameworks can be actively applied. The Community of Inquiry framework is evident in my daily instructional practices through its 3 core presences. Teaching presence: I design structured lessons using Nearpod, interactive videos, and check for understanding. I use the I do, we do, you do model to guide learning, and I facilitate discussions and provide feedback during coding activities. The social presence: my students collaborate on group coding activities. Peer feedback is encouraged through shared projects like CodePen links, and classroom discussions promote a sense of community and belonging. Cognitive presence: my students engage in problem solving and debugging tasks. They apply knowledge by building real websites, and reflection occurs through exit tickets and discussions. In my classroom, you can use the COI survey to evaluate teaching presence. Are my CodePen instructions and Nearpod lessons clear and organized? Social presence: are students collaborating effectively on group coding or Google Slides activities? And cognitive presence: are students demonstrating higher order thinking when building and debugging websites? COI helps create an engaging, interactive learning environment where students actively construct knowledge. The Quality Matters framework is reflected in how I design my lessons and assessments. My lessons are intentionally aligned. For example, objectives: students will create and style a functional web page using HTML and CSS. Activities would be Nearpod interactive lessons, CodePen practice challenges, and guided CodePen exercises. For assessments, I use website creation projects, debugging tasks, and quizzes using Google Forms or Nearpod. Additional quality management practices: I give clear instructions and expectations provided in Google Classroom. The content is organized into structured modules, and my materials are accessible and easy to navigate. The impact that this has is quality management ensures that my course is organized, consistent, and aligned, which helps students clearly understand expectations so they can succeed. The NSQOL framework is reflected at the school and district level. Access and equity: All students are provided with Chromebooks. Digital tools like Google Classroom are accessible to all students. Teacher support, professional development opportunities, there's nearby training, ed tech professional development, collaboration through PLCs and district initiatives, program and leadership support, the use of standardized platforms like Google Workspace, emphasis on digital learning and integration across classrooms, and support for blended and online learning environments. The impact of this is NSQOL ensures that both teachers and students have the resources, support, and infrastructure needed for successful learning. How they all work together? In my classroom and district, these frameworks are not used in isolation, they complement each other. COI enhances student engagement and interaction, quality management ensures strong course design and alignment, and NSQOL provides the support system and resources. For example, students collaborate on a coding project, which is the COI. The lesson is aligned with objectives and assessments, that's the quality management, and students have devices and access to platforms, that's the NSQOL. Together, they create high-quality, student-centered learning environment. As I reflect at my workplace, the community of inquiry, quality management, and national standards for quality online learning frameworks are all applied in complementary ways to support effective teaching and learning. Together, these frameworks create a cohesive system that enhances student engagement, instructional quality, and overall learning outcomes. In conclusion, these frameworks create a powerful, cohesive approach that elevates teaching and learning across our classrooms and our district. Together, the impact on students is profound. They become more engaged, more confident, and better equipped with the skills they need to succeed not only academically, but in college, careers, and an increasingly digital world. As educators, by intentionally integrating these frameworks, we are not just improving instruction, we are building a future-ready learning environment where every student has the opportunity to succeed. Thank you.